If you've been trading as long as I have, you'll know that trading can be extremely fickle. You will experience winning trades, but you will also experience losing trades. And sometimes, if you follow your trading plan perfectly, execute and perform correctly, you will still have those frustrating days where you know you could have made more money, even if it meant breaking the rules just a little bit. That's the kind of week that I've had this week and that I'm going to share with you in this video today. I'm going to share with you an update on both my account with Vantage and with the prop firm, the 5%ers, and I'm going to share with you a trade breakdown of a trade that I took this week. Although I finished up green in the account and green is good, I could have made so much more money. So it's been a little bit frustrating for me. If you want to follow along with me, I've also got a link where you can download a free trading plan. It's an example and it'll help to set you up if you've not yet made a trading plan. So do check that out. Please remember to like and subscribe to the channel, and let's dive straight into the content. Okay guys, so here I am in my broker here on MetaTrader 5, the broker that I use with the prop firm, the 5%ers. And these are the trades I took earlier this week. These trades were placed on the Monday, and then the last winning trade here actually hit my target on the Tuesday, so I carried it overnight. And I'm not going to stay on here much longer. I just wanted to share with you this screen so that you can see the real trade data, see that I did take these trades before we hop onto the charts to break them down. And it's been quite an interesting week on pound dollar this week. As you can see, we've pretty much been in this range. Monday opened here, and for the majority of this week, we have been quite bullish, although we got a large rejection of the highs here on the Wednesday. This was following a lot of the major news release that I'll talk to you about in a moment. Since then, we've kind of been selling off, and here, as I'm recording this on the Friday, we're currently seeing quite a large drop, breaking the lows of these previous daily structures. Now, my main trade plan this week has been focused around the economic news releases, so it only makes sense to start off on Forex Factory. This just shows the importance of news and how it can impact the market. As you guys know, I mainly trade pound dollar. I day trade pound dollar intraday, and so I filter my news here looking at just the pound and the dollar currency pairs. I've also just filtered it on the high impact news. I'm only interested in news that's going to create volatility and movement in the markets. Now, I don't usually trade any breakouts instantly around the news. I prefer to wait for the news to be released to see what happens, wait for the dust to settle, and then to make my trade decisions. But needless to say, it's super important, regardless to your strategy, to understand when these news events are due to be released, because they're likely going to cause some movement. If you're currently in a trade, it's good to be aware of them because you may need to adjust your stop loss. Likewise, if you want to day trade, it's good to either wait for that news release and then make your trade decisions. And so with this in mind, at the beginning of the week, I had a look here to see what was going on. We didn't have any news release Monday, and on the Tuesday we only had a high impact news release for the pound in the morning, and so that's why I mainly took my trades on the Monday, because I knew that they would be based on the technicals. Wednesday was an interesting day. We had a major core CPI consumer price index for the dollar here. And then in the evening, we also had the federal funds rate and FOMC. These are all pretty major news events, and I knew that these would impact the dollar. So I told myself I wouldn't trade on the Wednesday. I would wait to see how the markets reacted to this, with the idea of taking a trade Thursday and Friday. Unfortunately, on the Thursday, after this major release here in the dollar in the afternoon, I was following the markets pretty much for an hour or two in the afternoon, and I just couldn't get into the trade. I was waiting for a suitable pullback for a trend continuation, and the market went without me. It happens sometimes. Sometimes you can try your best, follow your plan, and still there's no opportunity there. It's just not a safe entry, and so I missed out on the Thursday. But let's go to the trade that I did take this week. I've taken the candlestick back in time here to the Monday, just as the New York session is opening here. This is on the 50-minute time frame, and this is when I made my trading decision on the Monday. This orange line I've got drawn out here is a key daily level, a key structure, and as you can see, price had been hugging us pretty much Friday evening. We got a break of it in the Asian session on the Monday morning. A lot of retest here during London and a drop down. But since then, price was pushing up and it closed above this previous structure intraday here. Now, this simple market structure analysis here for me is enough to be looking for a long. This is based in combination with daily signals. We've got a break below this key level. We've closed above this intraday. And overall, we are in an uptrend on the daily. So this for me was the bias for a long. But where's the best place to get into this trade? Well, as the New York session opened, I decided to drop to a 5-minute time frame, and I used the most recent pullback, which is this little area here, to use for my fib. Now, this is a more riskier entry because it's within this overall swing here, but I decided to set it anyway because I wanted to get an early position for a long. I set my long around about this point here in this fib OTE level with a tight stop below the structure. And I was aiming for a break of the high. Now, to begin with, price came down during the New York session. It triggered me in with my buy limit order as far as long, but unfortunately it didn't hold this level and it just went straight down to my stop. So trade number 1 on the Monday was a losing trade for me. This was okay. I was still long biased. I just realized that I didn't get in at the right point. It's all about timing with trading. And once again, what I do in this instance is just check over my plan, my perspective. I still had the correct bias in my opinion, and I was still looking to get into this in the right direction. But it was a question of where's the best place to go long? Well, once again, we had a break of the structure, a close above it here, which meant that this is a key level at the bottom here because this was the lowest swing before we got the structure break. So I hopped back to the 15-minute time frame, which is the time frame I prefer to use, and I dropped my fib level to the lows of the bodies here and dropped it at the highs to give me the optimum trade entry levels, which are these 3 lines here. But this time I decided to wait to see how price reacted. So we got a drop down to these levels, and then we had this nice bullish engulfing candlestick here at 230. So this for me is a nice candlestick pattern. We've come down on a pullback to an area of interest, and we've got a bullish engulfing. So I set an order here about halfway in this bullish engulfing for a little dip down for a buy. I used a 10 pip stop, which was just below this fib level here. And I placed a 1.5R target, just targeting a pushback up to the structure. This for me is a simple base hit target. It's more than what I'm risking, but it's not aiming to gain too much because at this point in time it's a Monday and I wanted to just gain a win. So price triggered me long into this trade. As we got this bullish pin bar here on the 15-minute, price is making this double bottom pattern here at the fib. I then doubled my position. I got in once again. And I used a much larger target because this would be my runner for the week. So I have my first trade target, which is a base hit, and my second trade, which is my runner. And for a runner, I usually drop to a larger time frame like the 4-hourly or the daily to try to see where price is likely to reach during that period of time during the week. But I can do the same by just zooming out here. And to do this, I like to add a couple of indicators. So I like to use my round numbers and below. These are the institutional price levels. Of course, the sessions make it a little bit easier to see the time period here. And what I was most interested in is last week for NFP, we had this huge drop down, this massive gap in the market. And usually when gaps are made, price is drawn to them like a magnet. It likes to fill the space. And so the most realistic place for a target for me would be in this gap. But I didn't want to aim too high. Ordinarily, I would aim for the institutional price level, but I didn't want to aim too high because we have had this big drop down and this is a bearish indicator. So I figured I would aim for halfway through this gap. It was a realistic target for my weekly runner. And so price pushed up and my first trade, as you can see, hit, and I had a nice base hit win on this, which put me back up on the week. Now, as we went into the Monday evening here, price is still pushing up. I've got a fair way to go for my runner. So at this point, I brought my stop up to break even here so that I had no risk. It helps me to sleep better at night. Tuesday morning, just before the London session, before the Europe session starts, and before that major pound news release is due out. And at this point, price is pushing up rather nicely, and we've got this nice swing happening. We've got a break of the structure, a pullback here during Asian, and a new high forming. Now, the low of this structure here coincides with my original 1.5R target, and in light of the fact that we had major news being released at 7, there's always a chance with that the news may go against you and it come down. And for me, I've catered into my trading plan to try to trail a profit stop to protect my risk, to protect my capital. So although I really wanted to leave this runner here, I set a tight profit stop of my original target at 1.5R underneath price, which was basically underneath the lows of the day. So intraday, this made sense. And it's the better decision to make in order to manage your risk when there is high impact news being released. For me, for my strategy intraday. And as you can see, the news was released, and indeed it was quite weak for the pound, which meant that it dropped down and it hit that profit stop. So the good side of that is it's another winning trade. I made 1.5R, which brought my total up to 2R profit. But obviously, I was disappointed because I wanted to gain that huge winner on the week. Well, this is what happened as the week progressed. So I'll just extend my first trade so you can see here that price did actually dip down to my entry on that Tuesday. It would have been an opportunity to actually get in long again. And I had considered this because I had already gained profit from these trades. I'd still be up even if I had a loss. But it goes against my plan to get into a trade so close to a major impact news release like this. In case it goes against me, historical data showed me it's better to sit out, so I did. And this is one of those instances where you can be punished for following your plan, because I followed my plan, I traded well, and the end result was that I missed out on this beautiful runner. I would have gotten that extra profit. If I reinstate my stop here, you can see it would have given me a 4R win, which I did take 1.5, but it would have given me an extra 2.5 profit, which I missed out on. But in fact, it went very high indeed. It went pretty much nearly 10 times what I was risking for this trade. But I didn't see any of that because I got out with a smaller profit. This can be frustrating, and I have been a bit frustrated. Even though I took a nice profit on the week, I still got frustrated because I could have made more. But this is just the nature of trading. You have to deal with these emotions, these psychological responses to the market. The market doesn't always do what you want it to do, despite your best efforts. And for those of you who are interested here, how I'm getting on with my prop trading account with the 5%ers, I've just got my dashboard here on the screen so you can see my stats. I'm still green in the account. I'm still working my way up slowly and surely to that target. But it's taken some time because I have been going through a little bit of an emotional ride just recently with my trading performance, and I'm working through it. It is quite tough being a full-time mother as well as a trader. Balancing the two is quite an art, and I've had a lot of comments from you guys, from fellow mothers as well, asking me how I managed to do it, and there is just no secret. It's tough, and maybe I can talk more about it in a separate video. I'm thinking about doing a Q&A live session on a Sunday evening, if I get the time. So let me know if you're interested in that in the comments below, and I can try to set that one up. That would be really cool. But you know, if you are at the beginning of your trading journey, it's really good to just practice in a demo risk-free. I've got 2 recommended brokers in the description below: Vantage, who are based in the UK, and also IC Markets, who are a great broker if you are international. They accept clients from many different countries, and they offer free demo accounts, which is perfect for honing your skills and your strategy risk-free using paper money. If you are a more advanced trader, if you've been trading for a while, and if you feel like you are consistently making money, then maybe it's a good idea for you to have a go at trading with a prop firm like I am. And in that case, I definitely recommend the 5%ers because they have realistic targets and they give you unlimited time to pass the challenges, which is, in my opinion, it makes them one of the best prop firms in the industry because it removes the pressure from trading, which really helps, believe me. So I definitely encourage you to check those out if you feel ready. Meanwhile, I hope that you've enjoyed this video and insight into my week day trading Forex. If you have, please let me know by hitting the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.